The Gaza-Israel conflict is one of the most divisive and contentious issues of our time, with the government of Israel strongly rejecting claims that it is committing genocide against Palestinians. That international dispute is now playing out on campus at Queen Mary, University of London. Last November, some Jewish students submitted an anonymous complaint to the university. They alleged that a climate of fear was developing on the campus, and they referenced pro-Palestinian posters and other posters they described as anti-Semitic. This in the context, of course, of claims of increasing anti-Semitism across many UK campuses. The university responded by writing to all staff, telling them, and I quote, to remove anything from doors and walls around your office that do not relate to information for students, student work, research publications, and events you are directly involved in. That prompted two letters to the university, one from Jewish and Israeli academics and another from Palestinian staff, who accused the university of suppressing legitimate political expression and academic freedom. We reached out to the university authorities, but they declined our invitation to join us this morning. But I spoke earlier to two of the staff who signed those letters, Dr. Yasmin Feda, who is Senior Lecturer in Film Studies. She's Palestinian. And speaking first here, Professor Anat Pick, Head of the Department of Film. She's an Israeli and Jewish.
The complaint was very vague in general, so we've, to this day, haven't received any precise information. My head of school called me in for a conversation, and at that point, I was told that a particular poster was identified and will be taken off my door. That poster said, "Stop the genocide." Following that, the removal of that poster, I found out that someone had gone into my office and removed a sticker that was inside my office.
What did the sticker say?
I think it said Liberation for Palestine or Free Palestine.
Yasmin, what happened with you?
Yeah, so I also had a poster on my door removed, and when I queried what it was exactly that was the offensive poster, because I've got several posters on my door, it was concluded that it was the words "Stop the Genocide" that were deemed to be offensive, and that if I didn't remove them, they would remove them, and if I kept putting them back up, I was threatened with disciplinary action. And this has been happening, in different ways to different colleagues across the university in a few different schools.
This complaint suggests that there are multiple pro-Palestine, anti-Israel, and in places anti-Semitic posters in and around the campus. And is that true?
No. Well, I haven't seen any of them. There are posters that oppose the policy of the State of Israel, that oppose genocide, that oppose ethnic cleansing in Gaza and the West Bank. I have never seen an anti-Semitic poster or emblem or item or another mode of expression. And I should add also that, ironically or not, Queen Mary is home to, I think, the second oldest Jewish cemetery in London, the Nova Cemetery. It was opened in 1733. It sits there right at the center of campus. Throughout, this whole period of over 2 years now since the war on Gaza began, this site has always been treated as a sacred space by everyone. So until I am given concrete evidence as to what they mean by anti-Semitic forms of expression, I have no way of knowing. I've never seen it or encountered it myself as a Jewish person.
Anat, what are the issues here for you as an academic?
As an academic, I'm involved through my research in political realities, urgent ones that are taking place. And as a Jewish Israeli, I have obviously personal connection to the country. I was born and I grew up there. And I'm very, very concerned about what's happening in the region and what's being done on my behalf, as it were. I should add that there's a whole bunch of us, Jewish members of staff and Jewish Israeli members of staff at Queen Mary. There's quite a large group. Everyone knows that I'm from Israel and I'm Jewish. I've never felt unsafe on campus. And I felt very uncomfortable that one group of Jews, presumably those that support the actions of Israel in Gaza and the West Bank, their safety is being prioritized while other Jews who don't agree and who want to express their solidarity with Palestine and its people are being completely silenced.
Yasmin, why does this matter? You're an academic, you have academic freedom, you can write books and articles, you give lectures, you can appear on radio and television. programs, you can make speeches, you can join protests. Why does a poster on a door matter so much?
Yeah, I mean, I also just want to highlight, similar to Anat, I have a personal connection to this and also a general one, and the concerns are related. I'm a Palestinian member of staff, and I think it's important that we're able to express a diverse view of opinions on university. I mean, for me, one of the worries about the posters, although in some ways it seems like a small thing that's happening, is that this might normalize, the targeting of certain issues on campus. And if it's normalized, it might become about another issue in the future. And so that's a bigger worry for me. And at the moment it hasn't creeped into our teaching, but it's a worry that maybe it will.
We reached out to Queen Mary, University of London, and a spokesperson said to us, and I quote, "We do not recognise the assertions made by Doctors Pick and Feda. At Queen Mary, we will always protect freedom of speech within the law. Our code of practice on free speech is very clear, including for staff who wish to campaign and protest. Everyone can use flags, posters, emblems, symbols, etc. in peaceful protests held in accordance with our code and within the law. However, permanent displays of posters, flags and emblems of any sort are not allowed under our code, since this creates a permanent and repressive environment which can stifle wider freedom of expression and speech for those who wish to express alternate views." That's what the university has said to us. Anna, what do you say in response to that?
In terms of permanency, I'm not sure what the university means. The display is not permanent, it's a poster. Events in Gaza and the West Bank are still unfolding. So it seems to me that the events that we're commenting on with our posters are current and ongoing. So hopefully not permanent.
Other posters have been left. They might be about trans rights, about animal rights, about other issues. Those are still on doors.
Yasmin, do you not think it's reasonable that the university would be concerned that a divisive political culture could be replicated along the corridors and hallways of their own facilities?
Of course, I mean, the university can engage with its staff and talk about these issues directly, and we can together find solutions. For example, we can put disclaimers on our posters to say that this is work that reflects our work.
Is it possible that a student coming along to a particular professor's office or door might see a campaigning poster and think, I better watch what I say? I better be careful because the professor strongly takes one particular view on this issue which has divided so many people?
Yeah, perhaps. But
is that what they mean by stifling wider freedom of expression?
Well, you'd have to ask them to clarify. I really can't speak for the university's intention. I can only say that in my classes, I make it very clear that this is a so-called safe space for debate, that it's collegial, that it's supportive.
Where are we now with all of this then, Yasmin, and where's this likely to go?
I mean, it's a good question. What we would really like is for the university to engage with us, to remove this directive, to remove the posters. We would also like an apology to all the affected staff, because this has really affected a lot of people quite personally as well as academically.
Dr. Yasmin Feda and Professor Anat Pick.